Hello, hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Current Situation Media. Today is December 12th, 2023. Welcome to this edition of Diaspora Liberian Political Spotlight. We do have training stories tonight, and we're going to discuss them, but we're also going to entertain you guys. So, welcome here to the show. We're going to play some music. And then later on here, then we're gonna have all our panelists. But thanks to those that all tuned in last night here on the platform, we appreciate it. So yeah, so we're just gonna play some music here as we share the link with our colleagues, with our panelists, and we are gonna dive into a lot of discussion, a lot of training stories here. How you doing? And it's Tuesday, December 12th. So let's go ahead and entertain you guys, give you guys some entertainment. All right, folks, welcome here to the show. Welcome here to Current Situation Media. Sorry we start a little late here tonight and running behind. But welcome here. Today is Tuesday, December 12th. I would like to welcome you all to Current Situation Media. How you doing? Last night the show was very interesting. It was very interactive here. Tonight we're going to be talking politics. We have a lot of trending stories. You know, a lot of individuals from Liberia that was sanctioned by the U.S. government. So yes, we have a lot of trending stories tonight here. Our panelists will be on. We were supposed to start at 7. We're supposed to start at 7 p.m. So if you are joining us from Liberia or the United States, go ahead and make a comment. Tell us where you are watching from. And I hope you guys are doing well. The Christmas is around the corner. Happy holidays to you and your family. Compliment of the season. And but thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate that. Last night, like we said, we were discussing community issue in Des Moines, Iowa. And it was very, very interactive. Tonight we're going to be talking about national politics. All right, we're going to be talking about some training stories here, but we're going to entertain you guys for a little bit until we have some of our panelists will be joining us pretty soon here. Like I said, we're supposed to start at 7 p.m. Central Time, but we are starting late here. And we are going to be on for 2 hours. So, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation tonight. And any training stories in Liberia that you feel is necessary for us to discuss, let us know. And if you feel necessary that you want to come on the show to opine, let us know as well. We will also bring you on. Now, I think one of our panelists just joined us here. We're going to put him on the stage here, Mr. Malcolm. Can you hear me, Malcolm?
Yes, sir. Let's go, bro.
How you doing, sir?
Man, just running around. Christmas coming, family shopping, all that work. Yeah.
Yeah. It's that time of the year.
Yep.
Yeah, last night here we were discussing community issues, so we're busy on the show.
Yeah, I actually watched and I saw a girl that actually got you here.
You did?
Again, yeah, press your body small is my man.
And she did. Yeah, we had a discussion on Jessica. You know, Jessica, we just buried. Jessica, you contributed to Jessica wakekeeping and funeral and fundraiser. I really appreciate that. Here, we buried her on Saturday, and so we, after burying her, we had to discuss other issues that the family going through. Custody battle of the kids between the family and the babysitter. So we had to discuss that last night. So it was very intense.
Yeah, my first time seeing you on the show, and you're like, I'm like, no, let's get rare pressing button.
So yeah, like I told the audience today, we are only live streaming here from the Current Situation Media page. We're gonna stick to the page here. We're gonna promote the page here, and we will once in a while, live stream from my personal page, but mostly about events in Des Moines, Iowa. But when we're talking about national politics here, we'll try to stick to our page here. So please share this live segment here. We appreciate that here. So tonight we're going to talk about a lot of trending issues here going on in Liberia. We're going to talk about the sanction. But before we talk about the sanction here, you have any updates on the lady Dede that was stripped naked and beaten in the streets? Do you have any update on that story?
My brother, people are just Liberian people. I don't know, man. A lot of people are saying that, oh, the woman, she's a 419 and this, that. Look, it doesn't matter what crime she had committed. It doesn't give anybody the right to, treat a woman like that. Especially in a modern world. Imagine people that live in a modern society, a Western world, like the lady, what her name, Susan Bangay from Australia on her show, that she spoke with family member and said the woman, she was criminal, she does 419. Okay, have you guys reported her to the police, or to authority? Even if you caught her and maybe she using different name, the duty is to arrest her, citizen arrest. That's legal on our law, and take her to the nearby police station and then let she face the will of the law. But in such matter, man, bro, I'm telling you, man, yeah, I don't care what crime she committed. It's okay. Like I take her to court, take her to the law, let she face the law, but not to, not only beating her, they eliminated her, in public, opening her legs. Who does such things? So, Nigeria.
On mute. I was on mute. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, no, I said that we will bring the audience some updates here on the story. Want to see if because I as we learned those guys were arrested and also released on bond.
You see, those animals they shouldn't be released, honestly.
Yeah.
And the public should be able to know what was the ban, the bill that they released them on. Because, bro, in America, you talking about over 500,000 just so they'll to keep you installed. They won't keep you out because those people don't belong on the street, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, because in America here they give you bond based on your
Based on the crime you committed, that's a serious, I mean, that even would be considered, yeah, as a manslaughter, attempted murder because you try to kill the woman. You have attempted murder, you have assault, at a fifth degree, the highest degree. You talking about good time, you're gonna do good time. It doesn't matter what that woman did or not, you can't beat a human being, especially a lady, to treat her like that. Or naked her too.
and you have bystanders, folks just standing by watching.
Videotaping.
Liberia has become the place
Yeah,
where
man.
you cannot trust no one. Security is not trusted. It's no safe zone. How you
That's
have
all I'm
no
saying.
they have no safe zone now.
Somehow I stayed on in the Western world, you think if I go Liberia, I would just go fold my hands and somebody can be, treat my daughter or my relative like that. No way.
Yep, absolutely.
Before that time, we will change the law. Wherever Liberia will have the right to bear. I say you're American, we're out American now.
Or some because even though the war been over 20 years ago, but some Liberians still keep some of the old soldiers or the old freedom fighter, or the old rebel. However, we labor them, some of them still keep the
No,
arms.
no, but the ones. I mean, we should have a law where it would be like, for instance, here in America, if you want to own an arm, that's okay, but it has to go through the legal process. Like, for instance, they have to do background check on you. All right, they got two type of lessons. They have the permit to purchase, where you can only purchase weapon, but you cannot carry with you, in public. That way, you can keep it at home. And once you do that, you purchase that weapon, it will go through a lot of serial check. The serial number on it, it got to be registered under your name with the FBI before they can even allow the dealer to give you that weapons. So if you have real criminal, record, no, they can they will not give it to you. So you can have those same standard in place, because any crime that is committed by a weapon is, based on a serial number, it can be investigated to see who owns the weapon, where it been, what kind of crime were involved in, all the stuff. So there's a whole lot of process. They had to create a database where they can store all the information.
Let's move on to another story. Let's start from these sanctions. Let's start from Jefferson Kochi. Jefferson Kochi responded to the USA sanctions that it is the biggest conspiracy against him here. He was sanctioned for corruptions and a crime against humanity. What do you think about that here? So, what does that mean? Now they have sanctioned him. Are they going to, follow up with investigation, or he cannot travel to the United States? And what does that imply?
So look, this other list of sanction is very serious, my brother.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
serious because mind you, it's not only affecting this individual in government, it also affecting the family. They are restricted. Most of the all the family members would not be allowed to gain access in the U.S.
Wow.
Yes, that has serious. So I mean, there are a lot of things people and people don't understand that the old man is in America and he going to surgery and all that stuff. There are a lot of things that we're trying to put in place, so that Liberia can move smoothly. People like Joseph Coach is not a strange thing. We saw him all looping around. He don't know that power is just a matter of time. One is being straightened down from you. You are just a bad man. That you have no protection. So you gotta be careful when you serve in government. So he said it's a conspiracy, but he has to prove that. Like you see, the honorable man, what his name, what's the other guy name? Abochie. Abochie say he gonna take the legal process. So I think that the best way instead of putting thoughts on the street and you're not making things better for yourself. Like Abochie had a press conference and said that he invited journalists that he will go through the legal process. So which is great. Requesting or petitioning the Liberian government to ask for evidence on those things, which are called the government of Liberia in knows during the time when Bill Tware and what the other guy name was censored. They never requested or asked for any evidence.
So, so now they have been sanctioned, and our families will also suffer the consequence. And what about those families members that are already into the United States? That citizenship or naturalization going to be revoked? Are they going to be sent back home?
No, that's a different ballgame because once you are a citizen in the U.S. to do that, I mean, that person can hire an immigration lawyer, and it's a all different process. But I think they're going to be monitoring the activity with their family member, those family members that have been sanctioned. And if you're an American citizen, you are falling in and out of money laundering from your those government officials that were named. Of course, you can. Almost like Chucky Taylor, you can be prosecuted. Yeah, on American soil.
Right.
You're American citizen. You're not, get deported or stripped down of your citizenship. But they will prosecute you.
Wow. So how is Jefferson Kochi responding to this here? Will he pretty much hire an attorney where he can be able to request those evidence from the United States government? Because now
I
he's saying this is the biggest conspiracy against him.
Right. But there's the thing though. This guy is not making anything easy on hip hop, right? And requesting for evidence would be the red path, funding a legal team, and, would be the red path that he can take. But what he doing now, putting a bunch of talks on, and passing right. Only thing he says in a press conference is a conspiracy, the biggest conspiracy. Okay, now you have it's a big issue. You have to ask for evidence. Like you see, like I said, the honorable man taking the right procedure. He's not taking people on the street or going to a county for him to demonstrate that Jefferson Koji doing. He's not making things right now. He want to, play low and stay out of the radar and follow through the legal process because there are for he alone, he got so many, charges on him than the rest of the other people. He got a lot of charges. He got, a murder and all, and we have heard numerous cases that have been linked to him, and those cases have not been solved. And that's what we keep saying. Whenever these things come out, when the justice system do not take full responsibility, it becomes a problem in the long run. And that's what Javasi Koji is going through now, because those cases that came out, the in-nodo cases, they just had one too few press conference, nothing have been said about it. So his leadership is getting out. The government knows that he's a trouble. The international community know that he's a trouble figure. So they're just trying to, pass him off. That's it. Most of them. They
So,
even going as far as freezing the assets and all. That's how they're going.
but I don't think Jefferson Kuchi have assets in the United
He
States.
would. He would not. He would not. But
Yeah,
people that appreciate and what his name Samuel Twe,
yeah,
Samuel Twe got homes there.
yeah. They got assets. Some of them have, asset, bro. But I don't think Jefferson Kuchi does. So let's talk about Jefferson Kuchi a little bit. Apart from him being the mayor, I know his job will soon be over. Yeah, apart from him being the mayor of the city of Monrovia, Monserrato, here, but who is he? Prior, being working for the government. But I know he was used to fight for Charles Taylor. Am I correct? Who is he? Do you know? Let's talk about his background a little bit. Who is this man?
You see, Jefferson Kochi is almost similar to what they got the EPS security that beyond just where what his name Silver Breeze. They are the same kind of a people, Doing Charles at that time, they had people who were doing massive killing, but they were all on the radar. So Jefferson Kochi was one of those guys who were with Chucky Taylor, like kind of a yard boy. He was in the yard with a man. But we all know all the things in that Chucky Taylor had done. And mind you, the American people always do a lot of, the investigation can go far beyond. They are getting intel that the man have worked with one of the inmate, Chucky Taylor. And they knew everything that Chucky Taylor had been doing during his father, regime. So all those pieces, those stuff those puzzles they're putting together, and that's where they're holding him. These guys serve Chucky Taylor, people want to say, oh, he was a little boy, you didn't see him with gun. No, those are the people that were causing trouble. The leg of Seward Bridge. Every day, Seward Bridge, you were probably living at Wet Flower. Called himself a maintenance man. But those are the dangerous guys that are doing those kidding. And we are seeing it we are administration. They see Seward Bridge, he probably have been deported from America, so he cannot come back. I want anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but Jefferson Kochi, he's not a citizen of the United States. He does not live here. Does the U.S. government have that, authority to, sanction him and also charge
Yes.
him for
I mean,
crimes against humanity?
yes. I mean, the reason why they can do that because he's a public figure. He worked for, the government of Liberia. Remember, Joseph Koji visited the U.S. on a diplomatic passport. He didn't just enter the U.S. He came here, when the president came here for a visit, they all came on diplomatic passport. So yes, he can be charged. And besides, under the international law, they can do that. Once you work for a government, they can do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, we will follow up the case here. And so, what are you learning from the Samatoy sanction
You see,
case?
Samuel is more in the form of corruption, not per se, but like Jabasi Koji case, they have seen a lot of money laundering, and the U.S. have the capability, they have the tools to detect those things. So we are hoping that the Liberian government, whether be it this government or the incoming government, can ask, because all we saying that we're just talking around what they has said, but to go deeper, the government or Liberian need to request for those evidence so that they too can open a case, open a file on these guys and start prosecuting it. And if the phone get it, of course they should face the full way of the law. But I think that's the only thing. I mean, that's the only way we'll get more information on these things when we see the evidence, the facts.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the this upcoming in inaugural here? And is the president elect still hanging out here in the United States, or he going back? And where is the VP elect?
You see, a lot of these people are returning back. Like you see, like Yombli Kanga came to the U.S. Vacation on vacation. Uh, they too needed some rest. Um, the woman is doing great, and I think, like I said, we're trying to put some stuff together. So things are going the way it have been planned because we want our government to be smooth, move smoothly, where investor will come and like will be a safe place for everyone, not just, unity party people. It's not party level, but the woman will attend the inauguration. He's gonna be there. Why not? I mean, it's one of the biggest day, in his life. This is something that he always waited for.
Since the old man came here, I know he did not come on a diplomatic visit, but
Yeah.
still
Maybe
he
what you Minnesota, but I was busy. I want to wear. You were in Minnesota. They have a little small session for him, but they intend not to make it public. They just keep it quietly. No, cameras and all that stuff. But yeah, they have a few things for him. We just want to keep people talking. Like they keep talking about.
so the
And
old man so the old man were in the Twin City, right?
yeah, they have a little session for him.
When
Uh,
yesterday,
no, not
yesterday.
yesterday. Not yesterday. He was yeah. Let me see. Was it on Friday? Yeah, Friday.
Oh, he was there on Friday.
Yeah.
But Minnesota, most politicians from Liberia usually stop in Minnesota or Philadelphia. Those are the populated Liberian state, and also where they have their family members, or they
Yeah, they
have
have. They always have, a lot of high profile people coming. Yeah, but yeah, man. I think
and then public invitation when he went to Minnesota.
no, and that's why I said, it was just something that was done, just to appreciate, it's like our appreciation stuff, and nobody wanted to make it public, and that was the goal. So why they keep worrying about the old man, going through surgery? Now they have forgot what the surgery they on sanction. That's what we wanted to be focusing on the sanction list that coming. More news coming on.
There's more information every day. There's more new breaking news. So not Minnesota, Philadelphia had a session for like a celebration, but the Braga was not. He was not in attendance. They did not invite him or what. Even though now he been a high public figure, and now he's the upcoming president. He's under high security, but at least Philadelphia has something for him, but he did not send no representative either.
That's something I would need to, follow up with the organizer of that program. I mean, he or she would be able to provide more in depth on that because, I mean, there are a lot of people that had, their own individual session, where they never invited just, group of participants decide to lobby around and have fun.
It's
So,
a
yeah,
group of
so
partisans now.
uh,
A group of partisans decide to lobby around and have fun.
like what's the lady name of AB Kuman ex-wife? I just forget the lady name. She had her own little session, the state she lives in New Jersey. They had their own little party. And she was one of the forerunner, she was one of the pool watcher, she was the supervisor at district number 10. So they never invited the women. They just decided to have fun and had a party and celebration for all the stress and long work that they have been through, especially coming from Liberia. So people did those things all over the US. they did not, invited the woman or anybody. So
Iowa, Iowa. I think I did a flyer. Iowa is planning that. Well, I think
you
Iowa done with that.
they don't wait.
Huh?
You should ask VK. Maybe VK might know more about that.
Yes, no, Iowa don't. I think they did that last week. It was not real publicized. They did it somewhere. Yeah, I remember. Or maybe it's coming up because I did a flyer for one of the UP gentlemen here, but I think that flyer was they have a celebration coming up in Monrovia in January. But it also, I
Hopefully,
also did it.
hopefully Ase will attend. When your man
I,
Ase should attend.
I say it's Sidishin.
Oh wow, open brother, a president, he got to attend. The president in your state, you have to attend.
No,
You know,
as he does not live in Des Moines anymore.
oh, he moved. Okay,
Yeah, he's in New York. Yeah, he used to live in Iowa, but
that's good.
he's New Yorker now.
But then why maybe adding that he got more influence in Iowa, he be beyond my man VK that he will step on a man community leadership. This
Yeah,
guy.
because he used to be a resident of Des Moines, Iowa for a very long time, and
Okay.
he relocated to New York. He always here. His family's still here.
So AJ, do you think Jersey coaches should be having press conference around with the current state?
Yes, I mean, Joseph Kuchi is still, he still have a job. His term in office is not over yet. He's still a government official. He's still the mayor of Monrovia. So I mean, he's entitled to that until the new government takes over. So why not? I mean, he wants to exonerate himself. He knows that when the U.S. when the U.S. post sanction against you, they have already gathered all these evidence, and they're ready to move forward. The U.S. government, they don't just come up with sanction or charges against you if they don't have adequate information or evidence. So yeah, so the man is the man is a popular mayor. He's a mayor of the city. He's a celebrity in the country, so he wants to clear his name.
Hmm. Wow.
Well,
Yeah. So what's about Prince Johnson? Prince Johnson name came out too or no?
uh, they sanctioned Prince Johnson a long time ago. Yeah,
Oh, but
yeah.
I heard Prince Johnson attacking or Alexander Cummings though, doing her church service.
Prince Johnson he's an outlaw guy. Even though anybody still love him, yeah, but he's a former warlord, and he did a lot of killings in the country. But some Liberians will say that it was during the wartime. So during the wartime, people have to protect their themselves, and they also have to protect their constituents, their people. So he got a lot of justification, to say that the reason why he did all those killings because it was during the war.
So do you think that we will get Liberia will get justice, or do you think they miss out, on the whole TRC process, bringing warlords to justice? Do you think that will ever happen? I mean, we've seen a lot of these people are already taking offices, government offices, high offices.
I believe eventually it will happen. Let's take for example our former commander in chief Charles Taylor. He's in the Hague now, serving 99 years, similar to his son. So eventually things will take place. The United States move very slow, or the international community moves slow. But as long as they're ready, it will be breaking news. I think right now these guys they are working in government. That's fine, but because the international community or court does not have that sufficient evidence to move. But when they gather all that evidence, these things takes time. But I think they will be all brought to justice. Yeah. It will take time. Some of them will be old, some of them will not be alive, but one by one, because crime against humanity, community, and atrocity, evil act, just killing the masses, it's not going to be tolerated. But we go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
Yeah,
I was
we
just looking.
we also have a breaking story here. It just came to my this year in the Musu murder trial. Defense pathologist reveals male DNA was found. Did you read that story?
Yep, I'm on there right now.
Okay. So, what did you learn from that story here on this new breaking murder trial of the former Chief Justice?
You see, and that's why when we talk about the justice systems, how difficult it is for the Liberian, national police to get in, some machine for DNA, because from my understanding, this report came from their own private stuff, the family. It's not from the Liberian government. Liberian government said they found nothing, and they just keeping the woman in prison. But I listened to her son. He was on a show, and he said the Liberian people will know, you know, after they present their evidence, they will know who actually, killed this girl. And after they presented those evidence, those are professional people from not even in Liberia. Those are people from outside. They came with their own tools and stuff. They did that stuff.
Let's
So
let's go over the story here. Then I will take it bit by bit here. It's a very interesting story here because this lady, she just sitting
in prison
in
for
jail.
for,
Yes.
for no reason.
So defense pathologist in the Shalom Musu murder case has said that a male DNA was found in the middle left hand fingernail of the deceased Shalom Musu. Dr. Matthews, the first Okiyu of Nebraska Institute of Forensic Sciences, Lincoln,
Mhm.
USA, of forensic pathologist, scientist. He's a pathologist, clinical pathologist, and an attorney on the witness stand. Tuesday said the following: the victim, Shalom Musu, died of blunt force trauma as a result of multiple stabbing wounds. The stabbings were caused by an instrument which is not a knife. The stabbings were caused slash done by a muscular male. That none of the defendants have the capacity to cause these wounds. That there was a foreign DNA of a male found in the middle fingernail of the left hand of the victim.
Hmm.
That all DNA profiles from the victim exclude all the defendants, etc. So this pathologist here, he's from the United States, so they brought him over to do his examination. Am I correct?
Correct.
So this information here is from the family, not from this is from the family side.
Yeah, the family side. The family pay that money, to have that test done. So
So this guy name is Dr. Matthews the first Okoye of Nebraska Institute of Forensic Sciences. Yeah, Lincoln, USA. Yeah. So they brought him over here to do this. So my question here is: will the Liberian government, which is the prosecution department here, would they honor this? How because how well would this accept this here, because this is going to be presented to her attorneys, to be put into the case as evidence.
yeah, well, I think on any justice system, every family member or every defendant or even the um, um, accuser has the right to do their own carry their own private investigation, be it hiring an autopsy, uh, a pathology to do whatever test that they need to get, information to prepare themselves for court day. So it left with the judge to determine whether that those evidence can be used, in trial. So that's a great question. I don't know how the librarian, criminal assistance works. I'm not too familiar with it, but obviously, um, those evidence needs to be, protected, because at some point, I mean, if they are not, managed carefully, it can be, kicked out of trial. But then it depends again what the judge would think, if those information are accepted, and if the defendant or the accuser want to follow, that to make a follow up on those things. I think data set can do a research on this guy to see whether he actually obtained those degree, and see where he had worked. You know, those are things too that the defendant can also pursue and say, look, we know you brought this information, but we want to know how credible are this information.
The defendant or the prosecutor, because this will be coming from the defendant side.
Yeah, that one saying the defendant should be questioning this if this evidence is used in court. I will question, because anybody can come on and bring any information, but you can validate or verify this guy's credential to see whether he actually a doctor, and if he had worked in that field. Because we're talking about, this is a murder case that would, put someone to prison for life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they even say a little bit about this guy. They say this guy, Dr. Okoye. I guess maybe it's a Nigerian doctor, right?
Right.
Dr. Okoye is a member of the American Board of Medicine and has conducted over 20,000 autopsies in the USA and Africa, including 4 in Liberia.
Mhm.
Dr. Okoye, who is also a lawyer, has practiced and taught medicine for over 42 years. So this guy, I mean, looking at, they just give a little synopsis of his credential here. It seems like he has experience, and he also a lawyer. Has practiced and taught medicine for over 42 years. Yes, so he has done a lot of autopsy. So if this is accepted, I mean, I think this woman will be acquitted. If this is put into the case.
Of course, but I mean, it's a shame on the Liberian, for the Liberian government, because if you keep you kept this woman in prison for this long, and, you cannot come out and knowing that she's also a victim in the case. You get my point? So if it come out that this information that was presented is true, what are some of the restitution? Is she going to sue the Liberian government?
Is she going to sue the government? Maybe after the case for some
After the case, of course.
emotional distress.
Yep.
Yeah, she is a lawyer too, so I think she helping fight this case based on her experience, and she, former chief justice, so I know she knows the law of Liberia, and maybe she's the one that would, along with her family, hire this guy, because what we just read here, if this is true, then which means that because you see, I don't know, Liberia does not have the technology here in this type of high,
Done.
case, to prove for the victim to the accused, not the victim, but the accused to be acquitted. So they will have to, use foreign foreign.
It's going to be expensive, AJ. You know what's going to happen. This case is going to be interesting, because you know what? Besides them even not having the technology, they do not even have the medical expert to even interpret this report, because they will be relying on the interpretation of, the person who did this. But do we have medical people on ground that can actually review these things at the court hall and say, oh yes, these information are, correct?
Yeah, and just to just for our viewers here, to bring you guys update, Welcome to Current Situation Media here, Diaspora Liberian Political Discussion here. Right now, we are on a topic. We are discussing training topics here. Right now, we are discussing the breaking news in the Chief Justice, the former Chief Justice Musu case here, and where they have the brought a pathologist in here, and the pathologist reveals that a male DNA was found. After his experiment, or what, or after his test, a male DNA was found here, and they have the list here. Because going back here, they said the clinical pathologist and attorney on the witness stand Tuesday said that the victim, Shalom Musu, died of blunt force trauma as a result of multiple stabbing wounds. Also, the stabbings were caused by instrument, which is not a knife, and yeah. So the stabbing were caused by instrument, or were caused by a mosquito mill. And that none of the defendants have capacity to cause these wounds. So Mamusu is also one of the defendants. So and but bro, looking at that lady, do you think she had that physical strength to pretty much kill that little girl? And what evidence does the Liberian police or the prosecutor office have against her? That keeping her in jail or prison for this long.
Like the last time we discussed, the whole case here, the case is highly political. Okay. Uh, Keeping Manascat in prison is not because she had committed this crime. It's because of a lot of politics involved in this case, and that's what we said when it comes to the justice system. It shouldn't be selective. If she committed a crime, give her a full due process. Don't delay it and keep her, in prison for that long. Knowing the state of, knowing her age, she's an early woman, and I think this whole case, you know, after it has after it climax, she might have to seek medical attention, physically and mentally. So I think that they don't have sufficient evidence, or they are not make the effort to investigate or try more. It is now that they are coming up with a lot of evidence and information that they are, trying to, dig further, which is also, waste of money, waste of resources. If you want to investigate your case, go for it. Don't wait until the family members start coming at the system, then before you start coming out and asking. Now they are even requesting for what a guy named Vadi Talib, even his girlfriend, that he got a phone that she's controlling that phone. Is, I think it might be in her name or something. And the day of the incident, she received call, and he also calls someone from that identical number. He called, I think the security at Manascat, one of her security, receive a call from Valley Tali. These are information that I think the government can, have access to, especially with a high profile case. They can go to Lone Star Cell, MTN, and request for the call logs. Okay. But the family members should come out, to request for it. I mean, the government should be able to go ahead and request for the information. Whoever the prosecutor was, which is, representing the government in the case, should be able to go to Lone Star Cell, check all major coaching call logs, okay, because regardless whether he's a mayor, he's involved in the case, check his call logs, who he had talked to, on or after the day of the murder or the incident. Also validate everyone who were involved, check to see, who they have talked to. Those information can be, it's easy for police to get hold of information. Go to the court, get a paper, and go to MTN. They will give you all the call logs, which will make your work easier.
I mean, we will follow up on the case here, but I mean, right now she's innocent until proven guilty here. But I don't understand our justice system here, where they have to deny her bond. I know she was bound out, built out of before then, she was rearrested here and charged, and now she's sitting in there. And yeah, the system over there. Although I don't fully understand the system with regards to how they process, people who have been charged with murder. If they set any bond for them here, but she's been sitting there for a while now, over 6 months, right, or close to 6 months.
Of course, it's been a while, and is that the right procedure? No, they're not doing the right thing. They are influencing her, on her rights. She can actually sue the government of Liberia and win a sum of money.
I mean, we hope that we will stay on top of the case here and make sure that we bring the public new information, breaking news here. Any other story that you want to share with the audience?
Let me see it. Let me see it. I mean, I think we should look. We should look at the speaker role between Fanati Kofa and the newly elected representative from Nima County. I mean, there are other names involved, but I mean, looking at those names, I want to discuss who do you think, who should be a preferred choice, for the speaker role? Because I mean, those are important, position within our government, and we get a like of Musa Belete, a convicted international criminal, was elected as representative, wants to represent the House of Liberia, as speaker. What do you think on that?
Oh, I mean, like you said, the Speaker of the House is a very important position here, and that position, it is not is it an appointed position or elected position? Because let's establish that first.
I think it is based on voting. The entire house have to vote, and based on the number, I think whoever has the highest number of vote becomes the speaker. So it's like something that they vote upon.
So basically, it's voted upon voting. So so the who is the current the speaker now? I just forgot his name.
But Buffer Chima, yeah, is going out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going. And what are the names of the upcoming, or the one that?
So we have the current deputy speaker of Fanati Kofa. He's in the front row of being selected. Musa Bedete and a couple of other few people named have surfaced too.
Yeah, and to be honest, apart from Musa Beliti, I don't know much about those other guys. But I think here from my perspective here, let me do more research on those other guys here, but I think the Speaker of the House is a very important role. So that person that occupying that role have to be more objective here. They cannot take side, based on you know partisan. They have to be able to be fair and balanced, for the
Now, now,
benefit.
now, the reason I brought this thing up on a recording by there have been a serious issue noise with Honorable Cordova and his supporters. A lot of his supporters don't want him because he mentioned that he was going to be giving his support to Musa Hassan Bedete, and people are coming at him on that. But his statement was, if the people no wanted Musa Bedete to be speaker of the hall, they shouldn't have voted for him. In Nima County, they voted for him, so he has the right. And two, he want to balance. People are saying that he should run for speakership, but he said he doesn't want that because he want to be a floor member to talk. What do you say, my man? Okay, I come in. Okay. So yeah, these things, I think I like the idea that there should be some form of balance. They shouldn't elect anyone from the Unity Party to be the speaker. You know, just so we get check and balance. Unlike the CDC government, you have all the fanatical for CDC, Buffer Chairman CDC. You go to the Senate, the CDC in charge. So there were no check and balance within the CDC government. So there were a lot of problems. And sometimes when you have check and balance, people know what they're supposed to do and now what to do. Things become to move smoothly. And every government will start to function the way it's supposed to function. So I like the idea that the speakership or position should be a neutral position where uh, people from the ruling establishment shouldn't be allowed, just so we can have check about. And the same thing too to the president pro tempo, right? We got Apochie, who is the acting president pro tem, but now they are calling for what her name Yombli Kanga. So it's going between Yombli Kanga and him. So we'll see how that one plays out. But again, Yombli Kanga is from the coalition of the incoming ruling establishment. So I think we want somebody who will be from a different, political institution to be able to, pressure the government too, just in case, you know.
Yeah, and you read on that check and balance. Check and balance will be the rightful way to go, because if they are from the ruling party, they might take side. They can be from different party, or they can be independent. But those names that you mentioned, that are up for grabs, we will do more follow-ups, and we will do more research on them here. But Musa ability, I don't think that's my choice if I was given the option to
But
choose.
hey,
But
don't be surprised the man win that thing. He look like proper money Benny.
yes,
Benny got money. He can use the influence of money and win it. I'm telling you.
and not only that, he's a household name. So, and
Yeah.
Liberian people like to vote based on celebrity status. They don't vote on issue. They vote on, oh, the person is popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but let's go here. There's a letter here, open letter to President Weah from Councillor Sema Sarines Sifos. Did you see that letter? Hello.
I haven't seen that letter. Can you go over there?
Yeah,
Was it
yeah,
on Future's Africa?
yeah. This letter here, it was forwarded to me here by our man on the ground. Welcome, Dave. Dave, are you there?
Yeah, AJ, sorry I can't be on camera. Yeah, I'm here.
All right, no problem. Thank you for joining us here. Yeah, we got 1 more hour here, so we appreciate your time here with us. Yeah, we were just going through some different training topics here with regards to the sanction of Jefferson Kuchi, Samuel and others, and also we went through the breaking news here on Clara Musu Scott, and now we're discussing um, the Speaker of the House. And also, we were just about to read this open letter to the president from Honorable no Councilor Seba Sarines Sifos. So, welcome to the show here.
Thank you.
So, do you want to talk about any of those topics that we already discussed, or you just want to start from where we about to begin from?
Well, I will just begin to the next topic that you guys are about to go into because I think you spend lots of time discussing the topic. Uh yes, I read it, the letter, the open letter that was sent to President Weah from Serena Sifos,
Yeah.
who was once the how they call it, what we call it, is that it Attorney General or Solicitor General, I think.
Serena Sifos.
Yeah, he was there before he resigned due to the corruption scandal when he was being, how they call it, sanctioned by the United States government. He and Bill Tware, they were the first two people that were, and Mangel that were sanctioned before. So that open letter was addressed to the president, telling the president that if the president is not adequately able to address the situation that is prevailing right now, it might also leave his tinted mark on his legacy. So it is better that the president do some investigation, and he claimed that for him he has done nothing wrong, but because of this sanction, there is nothing that he can do to exonerate himself, and the only way that he can exonerate himself can be through the code of law. So that's what the kind of letter that he wrote to the president. We have to set up an international panel that will contain international investigators, the members from EU, from the United States, from West Africa, and how they call it, the African Union, and those people that will, independent body that will probe into the matter of the sanction that was, carried out by the U.S. government. But you see, what some of these guys don't really realize is that this is United States foreign policy interests. The Minsky policy of the Department of Treasury is strictly there to make sure to do a global check on people that carry on corruption around the world. It is not just Liberia, but it's mostly for these third world countries that are already been impoverished. But then the leaders over there continue to, exacerbate the situation on their people. So, and this sanction is gonna hurt people. It's gonna hurt most of these guys, especially the latest one that just came out on Samuel Tour and the pro term and Nunkwe. So it's gonna hurt them a lot. For Jefferson Koji, he's not married legally to his children's mother that live here in Brooklyn Park. I don't know you know her, but she lives in Brooklyn Center. Well, it's not going to affect them mostly because they are not legally married. But the other folks that are legally married are going to affect their family. And just imagine if you can't do any kinds of business transaction with any international banking, it's going to be tough on you. So with all the big houses they buy, like Samuel Tour got a very big mansion here in the United States. So how you going to be able to take care of those things? It's through the banking system. And you cannot transact any kinds of business through the United States bank, and any bank directly or indirectly that have connection with US. You can't do any of those things. And these sanctions are for life and some are for long term. So it's going to affect them, and it's going to leave a kind of mark on them, indelible mark that can never be erased at any time soon. So it's very serious. But I think again is it's good for Liberia at this time. Liberia the people would say we just coming from the Civil War, and every fabric of our system is broken down. We are just still trying to rebuild, and then you see people try to amass wealth unto themselves. Look at Nunkwe, who was considered to be some kind of lab something to this rubber company in right behind Kakata over in that area. It now become rich overnight. See those houses those guys built, they have in Liberia. Look at Samuel Tour house in South Africa and look at the one in Ghana. As I was listening to other news outlet, that there was a time that money bag was then reported from the Ivory Coast that he took from Liberia, and the security there were very concerned about the money bags that you're carrying to invest into the bank over there in Ivory Coast. He got a big mansion over there too. But then you see the people, the poor people that are in the trenches, and that's why we continue, and that's why we are really mad with CDC, because those guys that suffer, that live in the trenches, that the boot soldiers that brought George Weah to power, basically got nothing out of the whole thing. They got nothing out of the whole thing for 6 years. These guys got nothing out of it, and then you see these guys building mansion and amass wealth to themselves. So it's deplorable. So I think it's a good news for Liberia, and I'm hopeful that this new incoming government in Liberia will, we see. It say when you see the people are roasting, or I don't know the direct parable, but when you see them roasting rat in the town, then other small animals should be careful. So I hope that this government that is coming can see what all of these things that are happening to the weird government, and the United States government is very serious about it. Is if the citizens in Liberia cannot take action, they say they will take action on the policy level, because it is a national security interest, it's a foreign policy interest, and most of the things that happen in Liberia and the money here and there, it's come from the U.S. government. So if the people going to put all their effort and all their money in our country, and it's just going to be at the expense of one person, then I think it is time for them to take some step. And it is going to be bad for them, because somebody that Nuku, who is a senior senator from my Gibi, Mangale, who is also from my Gibi. So what can you really do? What kind of what
both
how,
both 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 sides are best insurance.
yeah, how can you get any kind of development within the place you're coming from? You know, so it's a complete handicap for them. Complete handicap. So how are you gonna work? So for people that Prince Johnson, he's just sitting there laughing because he had been into it for a long time. Snow has been into it. I don't know if his name is still on our list, but Snow been living with it for a long time. He has managed to maneuver himself in a way that he's surviving it. But these new guys that are coming, it's gonna be hard for them. And Liberia now is having a different take on a lot of different diverse issues, in the country. So AJ is gonna be tough, but we are watching closely as to
But
how the new president is gonna operate.
so so these criminal sanctions, or less, how are they going to, affect, uh what's the impact, on these guys, especially let's take for Jefferson Kochi, who pretty much don't do a lot of traveling, stay in Liberia. How is the US Central going to really, affect him? He's going to still live his normal life when he's out of office. I mean, he's not doing a lot of business abroad. He can utilize his money in Liberia, and maybe he might not travel to the US again. But do you think that that's going to have a real negative effect on his life if he decide to just say, I'm going to ignore this sanction? You know,
Yeah, of course, it's gonna affect Kochi. Kochi was then sanctioned for abuse of human rights in the first
yeah.
place, and mass corruption, using government access to his own gain, and misplace of government, misuse of contracts and other things. So there are lots of things that Koji was being sanctioned for, especially when it comes on human right record. So and I wonder what kind of business, even if you live in Liberia, how can you really conduct a business without the United States dollars? Is he gonna keep all his money in his house? Because mind you now, AJ, when we're talking about this sanction, it is not. I know we might think when United States say you cannot transact through the through the banking system. I know people are thinking the banking system should be in Liberia. But let's take for instance, if we have LBD that is a Liberia owned business, but people use that bank to conduct international business as well. And what are the money that you use to conduct international business? It's US dollars. So how is Koji able to conduct business through that banking system? So unless we say Koji gonna keep all whatever you have in his house, and then you're just gonna live on it for the rest of his life, that's fine. But I don't see how possible that could be. So yeah, it's gonna affect him. He got his children here in America, and that sanction go as far as it says your children, and if you are married, is your wife is also included. So his children is here as well. So we are still here to see the other implication of that sanction. if his children gonna be sent back to Liberia because the wife is not married to the wife legally, so the wife is not directly tied to that sanction because of the legal, the legal issue in there. So yeah, it's gonna affect him in any way, directly or indirectly. Coach is gonna be affected, and all of those guys they know they're gonna be affected, and that's why they are crying on it on news. Or that they were first to react to those kind of to the news, so they know it's gonna affect them, AJ, regardless of whether they decide to live in Liberia, but it's going to affect them one way or the other.
Before Michael come Malcolm come on, so for the benefit of our audience here, walk us through this whole sanction process here. How does it work here? Is it do they set up anything specific for trial date, or the sanction is just a restriction, for not traveling at certain places or not utilizing certain financial institution, or is this something like what happened to Charles Taylor and Otto Waller?
So let me just put it a day for the common Liberian man to understand.
Yeah.
It's basically is stay in your yard and I stay in my yard. Don't come to my house, don't come to your house. That's it. So if you don't have whatever in your house to eat, and I have it, you don't gonna eat because I say stay to your house and don't come to my house. So what basically we are saying is that the sanction is once it's been put into place, it is the right of these individuals that have been sanctioned to ask for because
Leniency.
United States have a burden of proof. Let's know that they have a burden of proof because they are the ones charging these people with corruption, abuse of human rights, and all of these things. So United States say, especially when you listen to the Churchill affair today, when she said, look, the United States Treasury Department have a credible report, credible evidence to support or whatever they are asserting on these guys. So they have credible evidence. Even though our men them back home say they don't have, they have not done anything, but it is also their right under the law to ask for a court hearing. And United States government can appear, but some of them are saying they want to have a court hearing in America when the sanction is saying that you can travel to America. You understand me? So in other words, this sanction is going to extend to not traveling to America, not conducting any kinds of business transaction through American banks directly or indirectly. And you basically, as a government official, if you can't travel to the United States, then I mean, how good you are. If you listen to Nukwe say, look, if United States condemn you, then what happened to you? The whole world basically condemn you. That's why he said in his own word. So we are seeing that this sanction going to affect these people because they can't go anywhere. They can't do any kind of meaningful transaction. When you are senator, you are basically there to lobby for your constituents. So if you can't get out of your constituent to go out there to lobby from other people that can help your people, then I mean, what's the need of being a senator or what's the need of being a representative? So directly or indirectly, AJ, this sanction going to affect these guys. And we're going to, as we go by, as time goes by, you will see the impact because the impact, just know that sanction impact is not immediate. Sanction impact can be a long term. It takes time, but once it kick in, you will begin to see the impact slow but slowly. So they will definitely be impacted by that, and that's why they are crying right now because they know that what is coming is not something small.
So does before Malcolm, I just got one more question here for Dave here. So does this sanction also can be applied to jail time based on the crime they committed, based on what they are accused of? Can it also be uh, applied to jail time or prison time if necessary?
No violation of the sanction can be implied for you to face criminal charges. So, for instance, if United States says that you cannot travel to America, and under some condition you are able to travel under a pretense of another name, and you are caught, you will serve time in jail as a criminal. So it's just like when they say when U.S. are doing the time of charter when they place arm embargo on Liberia, that means Liberia cannot import arms.
Yeah.
And one way or the other, charter found means to to do it through other country for it to come to Liberia, and that ship was seized. You see, so anywhere you put it, just know that the camera is the United States camera now is on these guys. So if you violate the sanction, you will be thrown in contempt. But as it is right now, there is no any counsel or jail time that goes behind it. But violation of the sanctions could lead to criminal charges.
Thank you very much for that, vivid explanation. Malcolm, fire it up.
Yes, sir. So AJ, you see, with the issue of that letter, I think I don't think they need to form any uh, board or committee. But what they do need is to get a lawyer, somebody that understands international law, you know. But then again, the government has always been delaying. Look, they should have the first three individual that they sanctioned. The Liberian government was supposed to request because those guys they were government official. Okay, so before even relieving them of the duty, they were supposed to request for those information, and we know that the ambassador that left, the outgoing ambassador, he mentioned before he would leave that they had all the evidence, but the Liberian government failed to request for those evidence. Okay, so it's just simple. Those people in Liberia that say that, if they sanction you and your money, look, the American people control everything. Even the banking system, they control it. Just because you have a local bank doesn't mean that they don't control it. They control it. As long as that bank, like a central bank, they do some international transaction. They got to pass you when you're doing money transfer wire. You think how it goes. So they can restrict your system. They can monitor everything. Even and if even the CIA will help the CIA even control the NSA. So what make it think they don't have information on Jefferson Kochi? They have a lot of information. Trust me. The poor guy started there running over your country, and then you said, you asking them for information. It's sad to see even Liberian to be questioning that, oh yeah, they America, provide all information. Dave, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I listen to you, Michael. You go ahead. I listen to you.
Yeah. So as I was saying, man, those guys, it's just unfortunate. I don't think they're going. I think there will be different standard for those family members who are citizens. I think they are mainly talking about those one that live in Liberia who are not citizen. Who doesn't have any status. But if you are a citizen, for instance, with the like of Chucky Taylor, it's the same rules. If you are a citizen and your family member are found in these cases, they're going to monitor you. They will start monitoring them, monitoring their accounts, their account that they any banking institution that they bank with in America. They're going to start monitoring that. They're going to start monitoring anything that they purchase.
Exactly.
So they have to be careful. And once they can find out that any link to these guys back home, yeah, they can be prosecuted on American soil. They're not going to send them back like, bro, you're an American citizen who will prosecute you right here. So these guys, they need to be careful. People need to be very, very careful. The people have access to everything, even the very NSA over there. The American control the NSA. So if they tell you say they have information on Jefferson Kochi, yes, they came to power. They brought in a lot of talks within the NSA, but they were loyal NSA agents that have been, part of that institution for a very long time. Okay. And they can give more information to the American. I would tell you, the information the people I receive from very seen Liberians that live within Liberia, like probably they're getting no information. So they're not going to allow you to say, they will just pull crime on you and say, they don't have evidence. They have the evidence, and those guys, when they push it, it will just be the end of CDC. Trust me. Our CDC might end up coming up with different leadership because we're talking about high profile people within the CDC, hierarchy. So if they keep pushing it and the American release this information, it's going to be devastating. I'm telling you.
Oh, so
Because
thank you.
the
Yeah, go
public
ahead.
are waiting. The public are waiting for the information, for the Liberian government to request. And I think Women Brothers should request for this information because this guy work for the Liberian government. They are exploited the system, so they should be prosecuted. So it shouldn't be that when the CDC government should go after or ask for this information. The Unity Party government too should request for the information if the CDC feel the request for them, because we can still prosecute and we can still go and if we are doing auditing on past official, we need this information. It will help. It will help with the auditing process.
Precisely.
Yes. On other note here, this question here is for Dave. So, Dave, what do you think? Who could be the best candidate for this the House Speaker, the Speaker of the House?
I've not given thought to that, but I really haven't given any thought to that. I don't know how many people are vying for the position of the Speaker of the House.
Go ahead, Malcolm. Malcolm, who are those candidates?
You have the deputy, the current deputy Speaker of the House, Fanati Kofa. I know the two that surfacing between Fanati Kofa and the newly elected representative from Nima, Musa Hassan Bedete.
Those are the very two that
That tapping, that the two names are tapping. Other names are surfacing, but those two are the two that are already tapping.
I don't for people. These two have people of tinted character, so I don't know. I know that Fonati was a lawyer here in the United States, and he was involved with how he mismanaged client money, and I think before he served, I think 2 years on probation or something before even heading back to Liberia, where he's now working, and he's seeing lots of other activities in Liberia when it comes to contracting from various government departmental agencies and ministry as lawyer for those group people, which somehow we consider as a conflict of interest. And he's one of those that is amassing lots of wealth to himself. So we don't know how he's making all of this money that he's acquiring, all of this property. I know he once represented George Weah in one land, in the purchase of one land in Liberia there. He's a very high profile guy that people think that his hand is also in a cookie jar of corruption. And Musa Bedete, we all know, been banned by FIFA as well for rampant corruption, misapplying of FIFA money. So, I mean, I don't think any of these guys could be any choice for most Liberian people because of just the fact that I just listed out there. So we don't know how that will play out, but we're going to see what happens because I know that is done within the house. It's not like it's going to be like an election thing, but at the same time, the representative in the houses also have a constituents that might have a say. So we'll see how that is then influenced, but I don't think any of those two guys will be any choice that we want to consider. But we'll see how the politics play.
What about you, Malcolm? Who you think will be the best fit?
None, and people think that, you have to stay long in politics before, you can hold certain type, leadership position. I think those people, they might influence the process because they have a lot of stolen money. And we are seeing that, play out in the past. So don't be surprised that, because the two names are the only, those are the top names that surfacing, but again, that's just the kind of people who have representing us. They understand for the pocket, because I'm telling you, those guys will use money and to make or to influence whatever decision are going to come to that, because mind you, it's just people within the house, the member of the house are going to be doing that voting, not outside.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So moving forward here, guys, the president elect Braga stated that no vehicle will be stuck on the roads, in Liberia when he takes over. How is that possible, Dave?
The president elect said, there will be no vehicle that will get stuck on any major street in Liberia within the first
100 days.
state 90 days of his presidency.
Yeah.
That was a statement he made, and he continued on to repeat that. So he has now diverged in any way from that statement. But there are some work that is being as we are speaking. There are negotiations on our way by the Chinese government that will help us to take care of those roads. It is not going to be. He's not saying that he's going to have quota on all of the street, and that's where sometimes we get mixed up with that statement. But AJ, just imagine if you travel from Ganta and you go into the southeast between Ganta, Town, and going to Grand Gide. The road is messed up. Your car will get stuck. So what about when you at least grade that road, take out the mud, and put something what we call the rough quota water, so that car can at least be able to plow through it. Isn't that better than getting stuck into a mud for 2 3 days on a on a highway that could have just taken you, if it was better in a better shape, that would have taken you maybe like 2 hours to go. If we have that kind of road, wouldn't it be something? So essentially, what he's saying that we're gonna do our best to make sure that those roads are taken care of, so that people don't get stuck for 2 3 4 5 days, and sometimes 7 days on the road. If that road was good, because from Monrovia to Ganta, it should be like I think 90 minutes drive. And if you have to take it from Ganta to Grand Gide, if that road was good, people could leave from Grand Gide and leave Monrovia in the morning and go to Grand Gide and come back in the evening. That road was good. But the road is so bad that people get stuck for 2 3 days before they can even get to town. So all he's saying that we're gonna make sure that we take care of those roads, and people in the car not gonna get stuck. We're gonna grade it, and whatever he says he's gonna do, I believe it, because he continued to repeat those statements, so it doesn't sound like a campaign statement anymore to me. It's something that he intends to do, and I will just see how far these 60 or 90 days can go and what can be his achievement. We don't going to preempt anything right now because he has not even taken seat yet.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna give it time until he takes seat, and then we see, because we have not even heard of any appointment. No cabinet been released to anybody yet. Besides, yes, here in the day say we're hearing, but besides that, there is nothing official yet. So I'm sure when he shall have taken seat and things will start to fall into place, the public work minister will work hard to make sure that that campaign promise come to fulfillment, and that's what I would hope. So we're just gonna wait and see. Let's play by day. That's all.
All right. So, Malcolm, what say you? The president say in the first 100 days, no car will be stopped on major roads, and Liberians heard that. He keep repeating that. They are, they want to make sure that you know, he does what he says. He consider himself the rescue man. So, your thought?
Yeah, AJ, I'm gonna be honest with you when it comes to that. I would consider that as a political statement. Okay, And the reason I say until we can see after the 100 day, when it comes to the one, I'm going to be blamed on it because we are saying that we have heard that in the past. The issue with the rules in Liberia, look, it's just like when you go China, put it, oh, China, they sell a lot of, fake things, but it's what you spend, it's what you get. China, they have different grade of materials. So when you bring a Chinese, engineer into your country to construct a road or to undertake a road project, they will come with they have different, roads, the type of roads that you want to build. Okay. And what are the requirements? Different prices. So whatever you choose is that you look at all the road system that our past government have been building. My brother, they have not even, set up a good drainage system that when it rains, you face a road, you're not even maintaining the road. No good drainage system. And like moreover, right in Moreover, is surrounded by soil water. When it rains, all that water just sit. And at the end of the day, it creates potholes and mud because you don't have no drainage system. The water you don't know where to go. It just sits one place and it's still creating more problems. So building a road is a lot more cheaper, but when it comes to road maintenance, because there have been other road construction from the past government, but have they put any mechanism in place to maintain those roads? No. So I think 100 days is too short for the women to be, making that. So I mean, it could be a good challenge, but we'll give it to him. But until I see it, I will consider it to be a political statement because we are seeing that in the past. We should give these contracts to the people, let them do it themselves instead of giving it to Liberian, because the past government have involved our people so that they can be able to learn this engineering skill and work along with these people. But a lot of time when they pull these people in, put them, in charge of things, they decide to come up with their own plan, their own budget instead of going with the country budget, what the country need. It's not what you need. So a lot of our leaders have failed us. People, when they say leader, we're not talking about president. People who are putting into leadership in terms of those road construction, they have failed because they just want the money to come in their pocket. Instead, they'll go for a cheaper, plan instead of going with a raffle plan where you say, okay, we want a road where it will last over for the next 50 years, right? Before we even do maintenance, or if we're going to be doing maintenance within that 50 years, it shouldn't be a bigger maintenance. Invest without the country is not big. Where you can invest? Look at Rwanda. See the road construction that they are undertaking, within the past, 5 or 10 years. Do the same thing. We're not that big. Liberia is not large to the extent that we cannot face those road or to the standard that it will last even 50 to 60 years. But you face road without drainage. When it rains, the whole road, it damaged.
I noticed that you always use Rwanda as an example when you are doing your deliberations or speaking.
These people fought war like us, my brother. And when you see the way the people are, moving, what I mean? Liberian living Liberia, they go live. They get a Liberian community in Rwanda now.
Wow. So,
but they are seeing all these good things, but they don't want to go back to their own country to implement these things.
So Rwanda is in East Africa, right?
They are becoming the giant of East Africa. Both technology and even when we look at the roads construction is very, it's beautiful.
And what's that capital city? Kigali?
Kigali, yeah.
Yeah, I see you always make reference to
my brother. Just do some research, follow Rwanda. And the reason I made that because Rwanda is about the same size as Liberia, or even Liberia might be bigger than them, And
how long was that civil war?
I think it wasn't that long as compared to ours. I don't think, but it was one of the most deadly. Yeah, it was
14 years civil war.
I don't think it was 14 years. It didn't last that long.
I will do some research. Yeah. Okay, so moving forward here, Dave, are you with us?
I'm here.
Okay, so Dave, I know you came a little late here, but we were almost done. But I want you to give your input here on the Gloria Mususcat, the new information, the new breaking news here. I don't know what you read about that.
No, I know. For honestly, I didn't really do lots of research today, so I don't know what's going on with our case.
Well, our case here is they had a pathologist they hired from United States, Dr. Kogili, and so he had a new information that he revealed to the court. So
Okay.
so we going to go through that here one more time.
Yeah, if you go
And
through it, then maybe I can have a take on that.
so the Dr. Matthews Ogi Okoyi, he's from Nebraska. Yeah, I think so. He might be Nigerian or some African
Okay.
type. Yeah, Matthews Okoyi of Nebraska Institute of Forensic Sciences, Lincoln,
Okay.
USA, a forensic pathologist,
So he's a forensic
scientist,
pathologist.
clinical pathologist, and an attorney on the
Okay.
witness stand Tuesday said the following. Okay, he also an attorney. All right,
Mm-hmm.
he said that the victim Shalom Musu died of blunt force trauma as a result of multiple stabbing wounds. He also said on stand that the stabbings were caused by an instrument which is not a knife. He went on saying that the stabbing were caused by a muscular mill, that none of the defendants have the capacity to cause those wounds, that there was a foreign DNA of a male found in the middle fingernail of the left hand of the victim, that all DNA profiles from the victim include all the defendants, and he said all the DNA profiles from the victim exclude all the defendants. So, and this doctor here, Dr. Okoye, is a member of the American Board of Medicine, has conducted over 20,000 autopsies in the USA and Africa, including 4 in Liberia. And Dr. Okoye is also a lawyer and practiced and taught medicine for over 42 years. So he was on the stand here. That's the new breaking news here. And he deliberated after he carried on that experience of the autopsy on the body. So your thoughts? So do you think that will change the outcome of this case here, or that will pretty much because this is from the family side, this is not so basically the defendant's attorney will be presenting this or has presented this.
Yeah. You see, AJ, forensic pathology, like you just said, his background. He's a forensic pathologist. At the same time, he's a medical doctor. I mean, he's an attorney at law. So that means he's a lawyer. At the same time, he's a medical doctor, especially in the field of forensic pathology. So, and with his background, where you just said that he has, done series of these kind of examination. So it sounds like we are talking about a credible person here. It's not just somebody who has been in practice for just few years, but he has practiced both in the United States, as you just stated, and also overseas. So that gives a lot because when you're looking for a pathology, you are, and especially forensic pathology, there are a couple of things that you consider. You consider the work that he has done in the past, and how had these work been able to help the judge or the court or attorney and other people that are making decisions on these cases to make decision. Because when the pathologist is able to give, because they are there to give you a clear picture, so most of the way you just read it to me, one of the things that I do is that when I'm listening to, we call them expert examiners. The best way that our judges are able to get an expert examiner is for them to take the stand and to be able to speak and answer some of these critical questions. And sometimes the body language speak to the authenticity of what they are saying. But let's say that consider everything being equal, I think it's going to change the outlook of the case based on all of these development that you just talked about. There was some foreign we call it foreign element found in the fingernails of the individual of the deceased, which does not kind of commensurate with the people that was in the house in Gloria Mususka house. And you talk about forced trauma to blood force trauma, which is also, it means that there was something very, very, you know, heavy that kind of, hit, or somebody used a force that caused that blood trauma. So he want to give you all of the description, which does not even kind of suit people that are in the house to, with the kind of immense pressure on the body. So I think he is, with this new development here, I think it's going to change the outcome of the case. But one of the things that because this case is between the government of Liberia and the versus Mususka, right? That's
Yes.
how it is. That's a criminal case. So it's Mususka versus the Republic of Liberia. So the Republic of Liberia have all of the burden of proof to assert all of the evidence that they have in their possession, and they also, as a defendant, also have the right to, or how they call it, to present their evidence to in the court of law. So I think it's going to change the outcome. That's what I think. With but again, AJ, don't quote me on it. I do not really trust the Liberian judicial system. And it's not just me. There are a lot of people who don't trust our judicial system. The system is run by uh pay for play. So it depends which on which side you on. So but I think in all fairness and everything being equal, if they can take a consideration into all of the evidence that will be presented in court, I think with this new development, Suska could be exonerated.
Yeah, we also that they put into these new evidence and that might change the outcome of the case. This lady been sitting in Monrovia jail for a very long time. I know she's an attorney too. Uh, you know, uh, so where does Jefferson Kochi plays in this? He's also his name is all over this case. Fingerprint is on the case that he might be involved.
Oh, Jefferson is being considered as they are saying that the alleged perpetrator of the crime, worked for the Monrovia City Police. Jefferson Kochi is the city mayor of Monrovia. The city police of Monrovia fall right under the city mayor. So, and they say he worked directly for the city mayor. So the city mayor, I think you remember the press conference that Jefferson had before,
Yeah,
and where he brought Vaditele to that press conference, and you could see if you watch that press conference clearly, you could see that the body language, it didn't match at all. It was like he was being coached to say things that maybe he didn't really didn't he was not master of. He didn't know how to say it, and it was saying like somebody was always trying to push a word in your mouth to say certain things. So that press conference was a fiasco. So the public, in the eyes of public opinion, is Jefferson Kochi is a mastermind of that incident. So he presented Valley Tether one to a press conference. At the time, Valley was not being considered as a person of interest at the time. But now Valley Tether has disappeared. So I learned he had disappeared. I don't know if he's in Monrovia or he out of the country or wherever. But they are asking him as an employer of Valley Tether to produce Valley Tether, his living body, to the court, so that he can be able to say what he knows about that particular incident and the data is in question. So right now he's not considered to be the one who have committed a crime. But I think what in law enforcement, what you consider is considered a person of interest. And because he worked for the Monrovia City Police, and Jefferson happened to be the city mayor. Jefferson is asked to produce his living body, and that way you see his knees all over the place.
Malcolm, your thoughts?
Hey, so Dave, remember the defendant also requested the court to subpoena the mayor, which are called the court rejected. Um, so I mean, like I said, this case, looking at how it had been way overdue in terms of the investigation or the investigative process, it just I don't think this case will. I mean, I think Omen Burger will even meet the case when he take over. You know, and with that, they might even come out and say, "Well, she once was the lawyer for the Unity Party." You get my point, and that's why we say that it is important for every system, every leadership, to be able to do a part, so that when other people come in, they will do the same. You cannot have a former justice, you put a woman in prison without even giving her any due process of the law. You just keep her in prison. Her daughter has been murdered. The murderer is looming out there. He is nowhere to be found. No case. So are they saying that this woman killed this girl? Do they? I mean, is that what they're trying to tell the Liberian people? Because they are not coming to say anything. Even if the family is not saying nothing, they are not saying anything. They will have all the resources, to bring out all the facts in the case. They are not saying nothing to the Liberian people. The government is about to, the time is about to climax, and we still have, a high profile, a person in Monroe Central Prison. Okay, it's unfair to the justice system, and not everybody has the funds that the Musu family, to hire, a pathologist, for the case to be heard. All right, so that's why it is important that the system should bring in a good technology that will speed up and help the justice system to solve some of the cases, so that it cannot prolong and end up like this.
Has the government, or the prosecutor office, has they established or any motive that Gloria Musu had, that she, murder or her daughter or her niece? Any motive that they have established, what that this is this lady motive of committing that crime?
Nothing at all, my brother. Nothing. That's the frustrating part. That's why I've been frustrating the family. They have not provided any, concrete information.
AJ, motive is what a lawyer will call, in criminal law, you call mens rea.
You call
Sometimes,
what?
mens rea
All right.
in criminal law. So, motive sometimes is essential into a criminal case, but it is not a necessity to prove any guilt. So, in this case, as we have been following, we have not heard of any substantial motive as in regard to this case. So, but because the government has been holding on to most of their evidence, they have not come forward with anything substantial yet, but they said they have something that put Musu Glorious Scott on the scene of the crime. So we are waiting, maybe in a real or hearing, or elaborate hearing, where all of the evidence can be made available. Then we'll know what exactly they have. I think this is where we're going to see the actual criminal law in Liberia being put on stage. Because as it is now, we have not seen anything, unless what we heard from few police press conferences and other thing. So we still yet to know the motive, but the motive does not necessarily determine guilt. So it is not really a substantial part of any criminal investigation. There are times people commit crime with or without motive, but it is still a crime. So they don't place much. As I know, at least in America, I know that you will see the investigator will ask you, do you think there's any motive for this crime? And they will tell you, say, none that we know. It could be an opportunity crime that was committed. Maybe the chance was there and was available, and somebody committed crime. Don't necessarily need to have a motive. So what
But
I'm
besides
saying,
motive, was there any mortar weapon on the scene?
they said there was, they said that the door to the gate, or the gate of the house, or the door to the house was been it was not, I mean, it was keyed. It was keyed in that mean the key was used in the door. It was not broken down. Those were some of the references they were making. But that is not still enough, because if you're going to charge somebody with a murder, which is a capital crime, then you must have at least all of the evidence that can, substantiate what you claim. So we have not seen it yet, and we still are waiting to see what the government actually have. Unless we can see that, we can't make any kinds of determination. So I think with the new development from the pathology, the forensic scientists that just testify, as you just talked about today, I think there will be some other development that can bring an ultimate change into the whole thing. And trust me, if the case goes up to into the next presidency, the president-elect have a what we call the presidential power to pardon if there's anything. And so Gloria Sky is not going to be in jail for any more longer time past inauguration.
Yeah, I think so. I think that when the new government take over, that she might be given her bond, because if the government cannot really, if they're still holding back evidence, and cannot establish the motive or what this lady, did this crime, I don't know, I don't know, if you're saying that she did it for what, insurance money or what, does insurance pay out in Liberia, how would she want to take the life of her own niece? But anyway, gentlemen, let's finish this conversation on Sunday. Sunday we will be able to, no, not Sunday, Thursday. Yeah, today is Tuesday.
Yeah.
We will
Thursday night. What time?
7.
7. Today was supposed to start at 7, but because of time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a discussion behind closed door. I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna put all our show up to 9 p.m. The reason we try to miss 7 because to be flexible and fair to the other guy back home, solo, because he likes to join us. And usually when he joins us by 9 o'clock, it's almost 3 over there. But he said that's not a problem because people in Liberia stay up late. So he said it might not be every time, but sometimes he will join us for an hour. So okay. I think we will continue the show at 7, not 7, 9 o'clock for the 3 days. So that way, give everybody time when they come from work. They still got an hour to, to refresh and get ready, do some reading and everything. Because this 7 is not working for me. Malcolm have to call me today. I'm busy on a project.
Yeah, 7 o'clock wouldn't work for me too. I think you saw my text when I said my man will be too early.
Yeah.
Before I get home, my own children will play, and before
I
7 not working for me.
So sometimes, so 7 o'clock sometimes.
So this is what we're gonna do. Whenever Solomon back home wants to host the show, a moderated show, he can come on at 7. Those that have time can come and join him. Whenever he decides to come out at 7, but when he said 9 o'clock, it's okay for him. We'll continue at 9.
I hope the internet won't be stable. That's all. It should not be the host and the internet be going off and on.
No, the mail be good.
No, whenever he's the host, I will always be there to back him
up. To be the backup. Okay, that would be great. Yeah.
Just like how I was the backup when Malcolm attempted to be the host.
Where my man?
Who's that?
Debate. When you coming?
That man. No, I say.
No, I said now, like the pastor must have taken it on.
Oh, Pastor Sosa?
Pastor Success.
My
He
father
not on
said,
tonight. Like Pastor Success was busy tonight, maybe.
Yeah, he was. But
Yeah.
anyway, gentlemen, thank you very much here. Malcolm, thank you for coming on and sending me, giving me a reminder call. Dave, I know you promised to come on every Sunday, but you're still trying your best to come on Tuesday and Thursday. So I will see you guys Thursday. We are going to continue with the Gloria Scott case and also some other developing stories. Good night.
Okay.
sounds good,
All
man.
right. Good night, guys. Good night.
All right.